The man want feet sometimes, man. Everything head, every time.
Welcome sports fans, welcome back to this or that Sports TV, the place you guys come to get the best, most interesting and riveting sports topics, discussions and debates on the internet. But before we get into today's video, don't forget to like this one, leave a comment and subscribe to this or that Sports TV, please. And one more thing for us though, and that's to share the video to at least 10 people, but make sure to get to 6 subscribers, because if each and every one of you can manage to do that, can you imagine how many subscribers that will get us by the end of the day, people? Alright, so we're here to do a match preview, First Nations League game against Honduras in the National Stadium. Out there we have a lot to talk about. So first we're going to talk about the teams, we're going to talk about the match, then we're going to get into some off the field issues, you know, that Jamaica is having right now. It's not great, people. But let's talk about the game. You know, Honduras versus Jamaica is a fixture that I like because it's one of those teams where it's not an awful team, but it's a team that we usually get the result against. You know, Honduras always put up a fight against Jamaica and we always come out and put in some good performances. We don't always dominate them, but we always manage to get the result over Honduras. So let's look at our last couple of results against Honduras so we can know what to expect from the Reggae boys. So, in 2017 we played them, you know, and Jamaica won that game 1-0. And in 2019, we played them again, we won that game 3-2. In 2021, we played them in World Cup qualifiers and we won that game 2-0. And then last year again, we played them in World Cup qualifiers and we won that game 2-1. So Jamaica beat Honduras, safe to say. You know, I won't expect the Reggae boys to come out here tomorrow, you know, and get dominated by Honduras. I don't expect them to draw this game. You know, I expect them to win this game, you know, notwithstanding all the conditions and all the off-field issues that they're having. You know, I still expect them to come and put in a good performance and give the fans something to cheer about. Right, so let's look at this Honduras team and their last 4 performances leading up to this game. So, you know, the Gold Cup concluded in 2023 summer. You know, Honduras was one of those teams that had an underwhelming tournament. And so we want to, you know, look at some of their performances so that we can see how good they are and how bad they are, really. Alright, so they played Mexico and they got 4-0 from Mexico. You know, not great. You know, we saw how we did against Mexico, but that was on our off day. I guess they can argue the same. On the 29th of June, they played Qatar and they drew with Qatar 1-1. I guess that would be a good result for them. They played Haiti and they beat Haiti 2-1. We have Haiti in this group also to play. That's a good measuring stick. And they played Guatemala and they drew that game 0-0. So all in all, Honduras is a competent team, a team that can get results on their day. But Jamaica is better than them. And Jamaica is the best team in this Nations League group. So let's make a segue into the Nations League group and look at the teams that we have to face. So the Nations League group, we have Cuba, Grenada, Haiti, Honduras and Suriname. All teams that we should comfortably beat. All teams that Jamaica can and will go out there and put in good performances in. You know, I expect Jamaica to get a better competition in the next round. But in this group stage, with these 5 teams, I expect Jamaica to at least, you know, beat these. You know, we play home and away. I expect us to get at least 7 wins. Can be unbeaten in these games. So, come on, Reggae boys, let's do it for the culture. Alright, so we have a few things to talk about, people, and this is where I put the phone down, this is where I don't need any stats, this is where I just start from off the top. Because these are some issues that I'm really passionate about and we really should be doing better. The first one is the press conference that concluded a while ago, so let's start light. I asked the coach a question. I asked him about the process because he mentioned, you know, in the Gold Cup that this will take time. You know, that was his first tournament. This is his second full tournament that he will be taking charge of. So I asked him, how long will this process take and how far along are we? You know, on a scale of 100%. You know, how far are we? 20% on the way? Are we 50% in the project? Are we 70% in the project? And the coach answered, said that it was a difficult question and I guess we'll be playing a guessing game at this point. But he did mention that the project is about 65% along the way to the final product. I would disagree with that. I don't think we're as close as he's saying to the final product. I think we're somewhere around 40 to 45. We're not even halfway yet. Because I think this team has a far way to go. And I think this Jamaica team, right now, should be the golden generation of Jamaica. This is a team filled with talent that plays all across Europe, plays in the best leagues in the world. You know, we have players playing in the best league in this hemisphere. So we definitely should be coming and pulling out, you know, some good performances and being really and truly being the golden generation. So him saying 65%, you know, when we just had a decent Gold Cup tournament, but at the same time the game that we bowed out in was a subpar performance, and we shouldn't be seeing a performance like that from any Jamaica team on any given day. So people, 65%, take that as you may. You can, you know, tell me what you think. On that scale of 100%, how far are these Reggae boys along on the process? People, before we continue, don't forget, like the video, leave a comment, subscribe and share the video. It is important. I know probably I wonder where the content them there, but in the system we're there back on the background and we are doing it. So make sure you share the video, make sure you interact, because this is the way that YouTube will push our videos and make sure that you guys get to see it. 80%, I'm going to put the stats on the screen. 80% of you guys watching the video right now and not subscribe. Why? What a point? If you've watched more than 2 This or That Sports TV videos, hit the subscribe button right now. Let's continue. So people, I just had an interesting conversation with the General Secretary of the JFF. Also an issue that came up in the press conference. And this is about the conditions that these Reggae boys are given to compete and represent the nation. Oh my God, this is awful. And this is an issue that I brought up, you know, with Jomar a few days ago. After the concert that was held here in the National Stadium, the feel after that, man, was atrocious. You know, and somebody should be held accountable for this. You know, because when we look at it, this is the only facility that we have in the country that can facilitate upwards of 30,000 people. This is the only place in the country. And okay, Grand Gala is an event that we have to have every year, and it's important to celebrate our independence and whatnot. You know, we tore the field up on that day, but it was fixed. We came again later in the year, just 2 weeks out from the Reggae boys playing on this, not even 2 weeks, a week and a half away from the Reggae boys playing on the surface. That concert was on what, the 28th, and the Reggae boys are playing on the surface on the 8th. And we're having a concert on the field. You know, that is just awful, and that is just something that we cannot accept. Now, I understand the opportunity for, you know, tourism and for us to make money and whatever as a country, but at the same time, people, we have to do better. And even if that was the case, you know, the field needed to be, you know, protected a bit more. We needed to have certain guidelines and boundaries in place so that the field is not trampled upon. There were massive brown patches on the field, and we were expecting our Reggae boys to come and play on that. And then I'm going to show you how the pitch is today. They are doing some work on the pitch right now, so I'm expecting it to look a bit better tomorrow night. But at the same time, people, oh God, man, you know, we're giving these Reggae boys a hard time whenever they don't manage to pull the result out of the hat. But at the same time, you know, we are giving them conditions where they can't put out their best. And then when they don't put out their best, we then criticize them and say that, oh, they should be doing better. Don't get me wrong. These Reggae boys are not covering themselves in glory either. But at the same time, how can you give them a feel like this to play on? You know, somebody should be held accountable. People, leave it in the comment section. Whose fault is this? Who needs to, you know, lose a job, or who needs to... People, let me know what you think. Alright, the opportunity that, you know, the Chris Brown concert presented to Jamaica was a grand one. You know, where tourism is concerned, where, you know, the opportunity to turn a profit is concerned, and even to invest in the National Stadium. That is fine. You know, the notoriety that it brings to Jamaica as an attraction for a big artist, I get it. But is it worth the sacrifice of our national team? Is it worth, you know, giving our Reggae girls that are going to play in this month, just 2 weeks away from now, is it worth giving them an awful pitch to play and to represent us? Is it really? I'm not sure. Let us know, people. But all I can tell you right now is the coach is upset, and the administration of the JFF is not pleased with this. And neither am I. I am not pleased. Because I feel like we should be doing better. We should be, some other entertainment ground should be there. I understand that artists go to stadiums all the time. But not every time we see a case where, you know, the field is just awful right after. And people, I'm going to put this caveat in there. Before that game, before that concert, I did not see the field. So I can't say the field was in perfect condition before the concert, but I can tell you that immediately after that concert, the field was looking awful. The amount of liquor I can imagine that was spilled on that field, you know, to damage it. People, we have to do better. As a nation, we have to do better. You know, if that is the government's fault, we need to do better. If that is the independent owners or whatever of Independence Park, we have to do better. And I can tell you right now, the administration is not pleased, the coaching staff is not pleased, and I expect to see much better in the next international break. You see it? Alright, so that was the field. That's the off-field issues that we discussed a while ago. I also have some update. You know, the media was allowed in the training for a few minutes, just 15 minutes, to observe the boys warming up and a few drills. And I can tell you, I don't see Andre Blake there. Our captain isn't training right now. I'm not sure. Andre Blake knows the system. Andre Blake is our captain. I expect if he's here, he will play tomorrow. But he was not there at the training session. I did not see Shaman Nichols also training with the boys right now. But I'm assuming, you know, after his move to Clement, he will be joining the team very soon. Maybe he's just late to training or maybe he's struggling. I don't know what the case is. I'm just reporting that I didn't see him in training warming up. Other than that, the boys are looking fit and fine, man. Tavon Gray, welcome to the Reggae Boys team. He looks fit. He looks excited to represent the Reggae Boys. I'm seeing all the guys there, man. I'm sure you guys will be seeing clips right now of Damian Lowe, Javier Brown, Liam Bailey, Dujan Richards, Demario Phillips. All the boys right now training and looking fit, looking ready to represent us tomorrow against Honduras. So hopefully we can come and pull one out the bag. Let's go for a quick starting lineup. Then I will predict the result, and then that's it for the preview. Starting lineup, I'm expecting to see Andre Blake in goal, even though he didn't train, but he's our captain and he knows this system in and out. He should be the closest player to the coach. So I'm expecting to see Andre Blake start in goal. Left back, Amari Bell, standard. The two centre backs I'm expecting is Ethan Pinnock and Damian Lowe. And the right back, I'm expecting Tavon Gray to get his debut because the coach spoke highly of him in the press conference, mentioning his ability to play with the ball, his comfort on the ball. So Tavon Gray at my right back. I just want to see more from him. I like Javier Brown. Don't get me wrong, Javier Brown is one of my favourite Reggae boys, and I think there is a spot for him in this national team. But I just think the coach will go with Tavon Gray just to see what he can offer to this team. Alright, in the midfield, I'm going to go 4-3-3. I'm going to go 4-3-3, people. Bear with me. I know that's not Coach Algrims's favourite system, but I'm going to go with 4-3-3. The midfield trio that I will have, because I would play a 4-3-3, even though that's not what Algrimson is going with. I would go with Joel Latibo there, who is a defender but plays in the midfield for us. He's competent, you know, he has a bite about him and he can play that football. You know, whenever we need that one ball over the top, you know, Latibo there can pull that off. I also will have Kevin Lambert in the midfield because he's earned this spot. You know, he had a good tournament for us in the Gold Cup, got a move to Real Salt Lake, and so it's only right to reward him and have him play in that midfield. I also will have Daniel Johnson in the midfield just to give us that extra attacking edge. You know, a lot of times we see a rigid midfield that, you know, no ball carriers are in, no creators are in. So I'm expecting to see Daniel Johnson in that midfield. The attacking trio, Shaman Nichols, I don't see him at training, so I'm not going to go there. I can tell that Romario Williams is up there and playing a lot of, he's training with both teams whenever they're doing the drills. So I'm expecting to see Romario Williams as our starting striker. Or, don't get me wrong, people, coach might try something and put Liam Bailey forward or something. But I'm expecting to see Romario Williams as the striker, Demari Gray on the left wing, and Liam Bailey on the right wing. Bobby Reed starting on the bench. But yes, people, that's my starting lineup. As far as results go, I expect Jamaica to win this game comfortably. I expect us to come out and put in a great performance. I'm expecting a 3-1 because one thing we do is concede. I want us to be a bit more defensive, a bit more resilient in our defense. But I'm expecting us to concede 1 goal and I'm expecting us to score 3 just because the boys will come out with vengeance. They would want to right the wrongs of that Gold Cup Mexico game. Now we bowed out. So people, what do you expect from our Reggae boys? Come tomorrow, Friday, September 8th, First Nations League game. Let me know. That is all from me today, people. But if you like the video, don't forget to like the video. Leave a comment and subscribe to this or that Sports TV. And one more thing for us though, and that's to share the video to at least 10 people, but make sure to get us 6 subscribers. Can you imagine how many subscribers that gets by the end of the day? Watch out, people. May I say it again? May I put the graphic on the screen again? 80% of you guys watching the video right now are not subscribed. That's just awful. That's just awful. Any channel may I watch more than 2 videos. That might be a lie, that might be true. Don't get me wrong. But any channel may I watch so much video. May I subscribe, people. So hit the subscribe button, man. We want to get to 12,000 by the end of the year. So please do that. Thank you guys for all the love. See you in the National Stadium. Come and give us your fan cams after the game. We want to see what you think. Look out for all the matchday content from this side at Sports TV. But that's all from us. That is our Jamaica versus Honduras Nations League match preview. For now, this is this side at Sports TV. And we're out.